Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. My name's Jackie and thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here. Today's video is about testing perfumes. Some of these are newer releases, some of them are not, but they're all pretty popular, hyped up perfumes that I've been super curious about. I'm here to give you my opinions on them and to let you know whether or not I think they're worth my hard-earned money, whether or not I think that they are full bottle worthy. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and opinions on these fragrances, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so first of all I want to talk to you about where I got these decants. I purchased from Greta Beth's new online decant store. She has decants, she has full-size bottles, and she announced not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, that she was launching this online store where you can go and get a decant. I think she has 2 mils, 3 mils, 10 mils, full bottles of some things, and she announced that a couple weeks ago and I was super excited. If you don't know who Greta Beth is, I'll leave all her information in the description box. Definitely go check out her channel, subscribe to her channel. She is very knowledgeable. She is really into niche perfumes. She talks about designer every once in a while, but mostly niche, very knowledgeable, and she has over 1,000 fragrances in her collection, which means that she has over 1,000 fragrances to choose from to get a decant of. So if you've been struggling to find decants or samples of some of these fragrances that are just so hyped about, but you just can't find them anywhere, you just can't get a sample anywhere, go check out her website. I'll leave all this information in the description box. These are some fragrances that I have almost blind bought a couple of times because I couldn't find a sample of them anywhere. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna blind buy them, but I'm so glad that I didn't. I'm so glad I was able to purchase decants of these fragrances instead, because some of them that I thought were absolutely going to work out for me did not. Greta saved me a lot of coin. I think as of right now, she is only shipping to the US. I do know that if you're in the UK, I believe Gabby from Gabby Loves Perfumes is doing the same thing in the UK. All right, guys, let's get into these perfumes. All right, the one I was the most excited to try was the new release, or a newer release, by Navitus. This is in collaboration with AI the Great, and this is Ambrosia Imperial. Now, I almost bought this, I almost blind bought this a few times. When I first heard about this fragrance, I was so excited and I really wanted to buy it when it was first launching. The only thing that stopped me was the Divana note. There's Divana in this fragrance, and Divana and I do not always get along, so that really stopped me in my tracks, and I thought, no, I can't blind buy this perfume. You know, there's a note in here that I don't really get along with very often. It doesn't seem very smart for me to just blind buy it. So I just told myself I was gonna have to wait until I could get a sample. This fragrance has notes like banana and whipped cream and caramel, cinnamon, things like that. And you know, I love a good foodie gourmand. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a realistic foodie gourmand or not. I love a good foodie gourmand, but I don't always find them to be the most wearable because sometimes they're too sweet, or sometimes they're just so realistic that it's hard to wear. You know, sometimes it smells like you actually spilled food on you and you're walking around smelling like that. And I find them to be fragrances that I can only really wear in the cold weather personally. So I wasn't sure what to expect from this, and let me tell you something, she definitely made this a gourmand. Like, I can smell the banana and the cinnamon and the whipped cream and all that deliciousness, the caramel in here, there's dates in here. I can smell all of that, but somehow she made this into the most wearable gourmand fragrance. It's not a full-on foodie gourmand. She made this super wearable, and I absolutely love that. I think that is my favorite. When a gourmand fragrance has those gourmand aspects, but then they have other things to round it out and make it more wearable. So there's saffron in here. I definitely get a lot of this is so good, you guys. Spoiler alert. I absolutely adore this perfume. I adore the way that it was done. I adore everything about it. So back to the notes. This has saffron in it, and somehow that made this perfume grown and sexy. I think that's a very difficult thing to do, to take a banana perfume that smells like a banana dessert with whipped cream, caramel, and turn it into a grown-up, sexy perfume. But that's exactly what this perfume is. It's absolutely amazing how it was done. This is such a wearable fragrance, but it's super unique, and it's just amazing how delicious it smells, but how airy and wearable it is at the same time. Now let's talk about the Divana in here, because that's what I told you guys I wasn't sure about. There is Divana in here, and I can smell it. There's a slight green, just a tiny touch of a greenness that runs through this fragrance from the Divana, but it's not what I don't like about Divana. I don't like when Divana smells bitter and harsh and sharp and too green, but in here it's really well blended. So if you're like me and you're sensitive to green notes, don't worry about that. It's in here, but it's very smooth. There's nothing harsh in this fragrance at all. That saffron and musk in the base is what makes this airy and wearable. So with all those heavy, dense kind of notes like whipped cream and banana and caramel, you would think that this would be a fall winter scent, which it is. I could definitely see myself wearing this in the fall winter, but I wore this out with my husband to dinner, and we were sitting outside and we were in the sun, and the sun was shining down on us. It was a warm summer day with a nice breeze, and it was perfectly fine. It wasn't suffocating, it wasn't cloying. My husband thinks this is phenomenal. He could not stop commenting, and he doesn't do that very often. He doesn't comment on my perfumes all that much, but he loved this one. He thinks it smells sexy and delicious. The performance on this perfume is also amazing. It never got to be, cloying. It never was too much. It never felt too thick or too dense. I did wear this perfume to bed the other night, and when I woke up the next morning, it was still going strong. So I know the longevity is really good. I could smell it on me like I had pretty much just sprayed it. So spoiler alert, I did go ahead and purchase a full-size bottle of this fragrance. Absolutely love it. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna say this is probably one of my favorite releases of 2023 so far. Yeah, this is really up there for me. This is a full-on, full-blown love for me. So definitely worth getting your nose on. Definitely check this out for sure. So congratulations to AI the Great for an amazing 10 out of 10 fragrance. All right, this is definitely not a new fragrance, but this has been talked about and hyped up so much, and I have almost blind bought this fragrance so many times. This is by Kajal, and this is Lamar. And this is said to be a very, juicy pineapple type of fragrance. And I love tropical fruity fragrances, especially pineapple. And like I said, I've almost blind bought this several times, and I am so happy that I did not, because I thought this perfume was a scrubber. I really don't like this fragrance. I'm not sure exactly what it is in here that I don't like. In the opening, you do have pineapple, and it smells like a realistic, juicy pineapple, almost like you grilled pineapple, which I love. I love that part. But then there's some red berries in here, and the red berries almost feel a bit sour, a bit tart, a bit sharp to me. And I really don't like the dry down of this. And I'm wondering if it's the moss in here that I don't like, because I don't get along with moss all the time. And I did feel like this was masculine leaning. When I sprayed this on, it really turned masculine in the dry down. There was like this woody, musky, mossy dry down. And I like woody and musky, but the moss, it just did not work out for me. I really dislike this fragrance. I am so glad that I did not blind buy this. This is not a safe blind buy, and it's a no for me. Another one by Kajal is, I think it's Almez. I've heard about this one. It comes in like a really beautiful, the bottles are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I tried this one. I like this one so much better. It's very fruity. But again, this fragrance, it's a fruity fragrance that smells really good. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, but I was pretty underwhelmed with it when I wore it. It's nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a really pretty fruity fragrance, but I have so many fruity fragrances at this point. It just didn't do anything special for me. I don't feel the need to run out and buy this fragrance. So I'm really glad I got to try this one as well. I think it's nice. I like it, but I'm getting pickier and pickier about what I will bring into my collection at this point. I am trying my best to only bring in perfumes that I absolutely love and not just like. I like this one, but I don't love it. I don't need it in my collection. All right, up next we have another new release by Navitus. This is Kind Intentions in collaboration with Paulina Shar. This is another one I did not want to blind buy because this isn't exactly my scent profile. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, especially since, okay, the opening has Italian, Mandarin, Iris, and Egyptian seaweed. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Egyptian seaweed because I don't know I didn't really know what that smells like, you know what I mean? So whenever I see a note that I'm not sure about, it's usually a smart idea to try to get a sample instead of blind buying the perfume. There's white flowers in the heart, and then the base has sandalwood, benzoin, vanilla, moss, and musk. So I was nervous about the moss as well because that doesn't always work out for me. And I will say this is a very unique fragrance. This is definitely a strong like for me. I've worn this a couple of times now, and every time I wear it, I'm always like, I like this. I don't know if I love it, but I definitely like it. And I do keep going back to it, which I do that often. If I'm not sure about a perfume, sometimes if I can't wrap my head around what I'm smelling, it takes me a while to fall in love. But once I do, I'm like madly in love. I'm wondering if this is gonna be that case for me, because I really, really like it, but I'm not sure how often I would wear this. This is not my typical scent profile. All right, this next one is one that Greta talks about all the time. She absolutely loves it. I was so curious about it. This is by the House of Sillage Hufflepuff. First of all, I absolutely love Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I could watch those movies over and over again. I never get tired of it. And yeah, I absolutely am a fan of Harry Potter. And when I saw the note breakdown of this, I thought this is going to be right up my alley. I really love the cupcakes. I don't own any House of Sillage fragrances. I definitely am wanting to get a cupcake in my collection for sure. And this is definitely going to be my first. This is going to be my first cupcake. I'll just tell you that right now. This smells so good. This has lemon. I think there's peach in here. There's coconut cream in here. I mean, come on. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a pina colada. I think it's the coconut, but if you took out the pineapple and added lemon, it smells so summertime. It smells so good. There are some white florals in the heart of this fragrance. I think there's jasmine, maybe some gardenia, but I don't pick up a ton of white florals in here. I mostly am just getting those fruity, coconutty vibes from this. Definitely a lot of lemon for sure. In the base, you have vanilla, and then you have vanilla beans on top of it, I believe. So it's a lot of vanilla in the base. It's so good. Yeah, love this one. So definitely going to be purchasing this. This will be my first cupcake from the House of Sillage. I am going to wait though until they have it on sale. I know they do have lots of sales, so I never want to pay full price for a cupcake because they just have sales all the time. So I'll wait until the next sale, and then I'm going to swoop this up because it's delicious. All right, I have two from the House of EBK. These are fragrances that are not only hard to get samples of, but they're just hard to order in general. I think you have to go through Instagram. I almost blind bought them a couple of times, and I thought these were absolute shoo-ins. If there was ever going to be a safe blind buy for me, I just thought that these would be safe blind buys. Everybody has talked about how much they love these fragrances, and I was like 99.9% sure I was going to love all of them, but I don't, and I'm shocked. So let's start off with the first one, which is Deep in Desire Yacht. This one has definitely been making the rounds on YouTube. People talk about this one all the time. They say it smells like a blueberry muffin, which it does. It does, but it's not what I thought it was going to be at all. This smells like a blueberry muffin, even with the bready aspect to it, but it's so airy, which is a good thing for a lot of people. If you don't actually want to smell like a dense, thick, realistic blueberry muffin, you might like this because it has a very airy quality to it. It reminds me of like a diet blueberry muffin, maybe. I don't know. There's just something in here that just feels lacking to me somehow. Yeah, that blueberry muffin feel is definitely in here, but it's airy and it's wearable, so that might be a really good thing for a lot of people. However, the thing that I don't like about this fragrance is I get blueberry for sure. I know there's not blueberry in here. I think there's grapes, but to me it translates into blueberry, and it's really sour. It smells so tart. Like the grapes that smell like blueberries, they smell like the most sour, tart blueberries. And especially on my skin, it smells so amplified and so tart. It smells like a diet blueberry muffin with too many sour blueberries and no sugar. That's what I'm getting from this, you guys. I just don't like it. It's too sour. I'm so shocked about this, you guys. I'm so shocked. It's not working for me, guys. I've tried it several times now and I just cannot do it. The other one from EBK is Ruby and Vanilla Intense. This was not at all what I expected. This doesn't smell like vanilla to me. This is a patchouli fragrance. Okay, there's patchouli and tangerine in the opening, but I get that patchouli throughout the entire wear. And as this perfume dries down, I start to get the vanilla for sure, but this is a woody vanilla with lots of patchouli and some fruity notes. Now, this is a good patchouli. It's really well blended. I mean, this isn't like a dirty, earthy patchouli. I'm a big patchouli fan, and this is the kind of patchouli I like. It smells really well blended and clean, like a clean, warm smelling patchouli. I like it. I like it, but I don't love it. It's not at all what I was expecting. Maybe I just need to get past what I thought this fragrance was going to be and maybe just appreciate it for what it is. That's possible. I might change my mind on this one. I will play around with it some more, but my first impression of this fragrance is that this is a more of a patchouli heavy fragrance than anything. So I will continue to play with this one. This one's a maybe. It's not a love, it's a like, but that could change. So definitely let me know your thoughts on this one if you've tried it. This is Ruby and Vanilla Intense. All right, guys, I finally got to try from the house of Kerosene. This is Unknown Pleasures. I have been so curious about this fragrance for so long. Like I said, I've almost blind bought this one several times, but something stopped me. I think it was the tea note. There's Earl Grey tea in here, and sometimes I don't always get along with tea notes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I really didn't want to blind buy this one, but people have said that this is like one of the best lemon gourmand fragrances out there, and let me tell you something, this was love at first sniff. Oh my gosh, this is so good, and the performance on this is outstanding. This is what I've been looking for. I've been looking for a really good lemon gourmand fragrance that keeps the lemon throughout the wear of the fragrance and has good performance. From the house of Sillage Hufflepuff, I do get that in here, but it's different. The Hufflepuff one is more of a summertime fragrance. This feels very fall winter. This is denser, this is heavier, this is thicker, this is gourmand for sure. I do like that the tea note is in here though, because I feel like without it, it might be too sweet. It does kind of tone it down a little bit and gives it some depth, some character for sure. But there is lemon, caramel, vanilla, Earl Grey tea, bergamot, honey, and tonka bean. So you have to be into a sweet, definitely lemon, gourmand perfume. This is what I was looking for. So yes, this is a 100% full bottle worthy for me. I'm going to wait until fall and winter to purchase it just because I don't see myself wearing this. It's a bit heavy, a bit loud to wear in the hot weather, but when fall comes, this is probably going to be one of the first fragrances that I buy. That's it for today's video. Those are the perfumes I've been testing. Definitely go check out Greta's website and Gabby's if you're in the UK. Definitely check out AI the Great's new fragrance, Ambrosia Imperial. Get your nose on this. This is fantastic. I'm just super excited that I got to try these instead of just blind buying some of these, because some of these really didn't work out for me. So that's it for today's video. If you found it helpful and you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.